Jay Leno recently weighed in on the surprising suspension of ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live after Jimmy Kimmel made controversial remarks about the tragic September 10th shooting death of conservative podcaster Charlie Kirk. This development has stirred plenty of chatter in the world of late-night television. Leno, now 75, shared his thoughts with Access Hollywood during the Hollywood Walk of Fame event honoring former Fox News anchor Chris Wallace. He expressed optimism about Kimmel's future, saying, "I believe Jimmy will bounce back because he's genuinely talented and funny. Let's wait and see how this unfolds." Interestingly, Leno and Kimmel have a history marked by tension. At one point, Kimmel openly mocked Leno on his own show, an episode Leno looked back on with a mix of regret and acceptance. Reflecting on the incident, Leno admitted, "When Kimmel humiliated me on my own turf, I made a mistake by letting it air without editing it out. That was my fault. But it's reality. It happened. You learn from that." Leno further elaborated that while he personally wouldn't have allowed that moment to be broadcast, he respects Kimmel as a comedian and understands it as part of the craft. This honesty about his past feud adds an intriguing layer to his current defense of Kimmel amid his suspension. The suspension itself followed Kimmel's strong commentary during his monologue, where he criticized what he called attempts to politically capitalize on the shooter who killed Charlie Kirk. Kimmel denounced the MAGA gang for trying to depict the shooter as one of their own to gain political points. He acknowledged the human side of the tragedy, mentioning how deeply affected President Joe Biden was, highlighted by the White House's decision to fly the flag at half-staff. Despite the uproar, Kimmel reportedly refused to apologize for his remarks, leaving his show's return date uncertain. Notably, he was spotted with a smirk as he visited his attorney's office in Los Angeles, adding fuel to the speculation surrounding his situation. Leno's comments come at a moment when several late-night personalities are publicly supporting Kimmel. Jimmy Fallon, who succeeded Leno as host of The Tonight Show, candidly expressed disbelief over the suspension during his show, calling it a WTF moment. Fallon, 51, described Kimmel as a decent, loving, and funny guy, and expressed hope for his comeback. Jon Stewart, known for his sharp political satire on The Daily Show, made a rare midweek appearance to comment on the issue. He sarcastically referred to the show as administration compliant and joked about New York City's challenges, indirectly criticizing the political environment influencing media censorship. Seth Meyers of NBC's Late Night also spoke out, linking the controversy to broader concerns about the current administration's stance on free speech. He called it an honor to be friends with Kimmel and to work in a country that claims to value freedom of speech, despite recent pressures. Demonstrating his trademark humor, Meyers played a fart sound effect during his statement about press freedom, underscoring the absurdity he sees in the situation. David Letterman, a late-night legend from CBS, didn't hold back during the 2025 Atlantic Festival either. He decried the suspension as a troubling sign of managed media, criticizing what he perceives as fear-driven actions to appease an authoritarian-leaning administration. Letterman warned that in such political climates, no one is safe from being targeted or silenced eventually. But here's where the real debate heats up. Should freedom of speech have limits when it comes to politically charged content on widely viewed platforms? Is ABC's suspension of Kimmel an example of necessary corporate responsibility or a dangerous capitulation to political pressure? Jay Leno's stance leans heavily toward protecting free expression, yet he also hints at letting audiences decide what stays on the air. This cluster of perspectives from late-night heavyweights not only highlights the ongoing tension between comedy and politics, but also raises a critical question. In today's hypersensitive climate, how far can comedians push the envelope before it costs them their shows? Are networks protecting public sensibilities, or are they undermining artistic freedom? What do you think? Is the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel Live justified? Or is it a sign of troubling censorship creeping into American media? Feel free to share your views below. This conversation is far from over.